JoeLumb album review every Monday right here on this channel. After 3 weeks of lack of views on a lot of my videos, it is now time that I return for an album review. So let's cut the bullshit and get to it. The last couple of album reviews I've done within the last 2 months, starting with Poison's Flesh and Blood, continuing with Skid Row's self-titled debut and their follow-up Slave to the Grind, Bon Jovi's These Days, Def Leppard's Slang, Ozzy's The Ultimate Sin. By the way, Ozzy had passed away 2 weeks ago. May he rest in peace. And the last one was Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic. Nobody even cared to view those videos, and I crashed out after reviewing Toys in the Attic. Now in this review, I review AC/DC's Ballbreaker, the only studio effort from the band to be produced by legendary producer Rick Rubin. Ballbreaker marked the return of drummer Phil Rudd, who had played with AC/DC from 1975 to 1983. He left the group during the Flick of the Switch sessions due to drug problems and his incompatibility with Malcolm Young. According to Arnaud Dero's book AC/DC Maximum Rock and Roll, Rudd attended AC/DC's show in Auckland, New Zealand in November of 1991, and after a friendly meeting with the band backstage, made an open-ended pitch to rejoin if anything changed with the band's current drummer, Chris Slade. In that same report, the band eventually invited Rudd to rejoin, and he accepted in August of '94, much to the chagrin of Slade, who had been recording demos with the band in London. Slade had told Rock Hard France in June of 2001 that he was so disappointed and disgusted that he didn't touch his drum kit for 3 years. Chris Slade would eventually rejoin the band for their performance at the 57th Annual Grammy Awards and the 2015 Rock or Bust World Tour following Rudd's legal issues involving illegal drug possession and threatening to kill his former personal assistant, both of which forced him out of the band for a second time. Rick Rubin's first assignment with AC/DC had been Big Gun, which appeared on the soundtrack to the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Last Action Hero. The song was a hit, becoming Billboard's #1 rock track and #5 on the Canadian charts. The album took 5 months to record. Production started at the Record Plant Studios in New York, but the band had become dissatisfied with the sound there and moved to Los Angeles' Ocean Way Studios. Getting the right drum sound at the record plant had proved impossible, with Rubin even isolating the drums in a tent in the studio and lining the walls and ceiling with material to soak up the extra sound the room generated. Although the band was immediately satisfied with the Ocean Way Studios, Rubin and Malcolm Young clashed over the album's direction, with Rubin demanding as many as 50 retakes on some songs, and rumors persist that Rubin was often absent from the studio and left the band to their own devices, which he reportedly saw to the recording of the Red Hot Chili Peppers record One Hot Minute at the same time. In a 1995 interview with Guitar World, Young played down the tension between him and Rubin, although he did admit to Le Monde in October of 2000 that working with him was a mistake. Mike Frazier was also credited for recording, engineering, and mixing the album. Marvel Comics contributed to the album artwork for Ballbreaker. All tracks on this one are written by Angus and Malcolm Young. Hard as a Rock clocks in at 4:31. Cover You in Oil clocks in at 4:32. The Führer clocks in at 4:10. Boogeyman clocks in at 4:07. The Honey Roll clocks in at 5:34. Burning Alive clocks in at 5:05. Hail Caesar clocks in at 5:14. Love Bomb clocks in at 3:14. Caught with Your Pants Down clocks in at 4:14. Whiskey on the Rocks clocks in at 4:35. And the title track, Ballbreaker, clocks in at 4:31. Ballbreaker was released on September 25th, 1995. The initial shipments of Ballbreaker outside of Japan and Australia were 2.5 million copies. In our native country of Australia, it topped the ARIA charts and was certified gold on release day. with 35,000 units sold. The album reached the top 10 in many countries, including number 4 in the US, number 6 in the UK, and number 1 in countries as Finland, Sweden, and Switzerland. It is currently certified double platinum. It is currently certified double platinum by the RIAA in the US for sales in excess of 2 million. The overall rating for this album is a 7 out of 10. A nice fucking follow-up to the multi-platinum success of The Razor's Edge 5 years earlier. Did you know Hard as a Rock, the first single, was dated all the way back to the sessions of Who Made Who? The song Burning Alive was written about a cult followers in Waco, Texas that were burnt to death during a raid by authorities. The song Cover You in Oil contained the sexually explicit line, I see a young girl in the neighborhood. I must confess I like to run my hands up and down her legs. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Songs like Hail Caesar and The Fuhrer saw the band make uncharacteristic dips into social commentary. There was also another sexually explicit line in the lyrics to the title track Ballbreaker, as some bitch ripping off Brian Johnson's jeans as she tells him to shoot his load. Damn, you cannot get away with lyrics like that these days. While every track on this album is good, the standout songs like Hard as a Rock, Hail Caesar, and Cover You in Oil are great listen to tracks from Ballbreaker.